Hey Reddit. This one took me 2 years to pull off, and I still smile thinking about it. I worked at this company for 6 years. We were a tight-knit, medium-sized SaaS company with around 150 employees. Not flashy, but profitable and stable. I was the ops manager, meaning I dealt with logistics, vendors, workflows, and cross-departmental screw-ups. Basically, the duct tape that held everything together. About 2 years ago, Kim, the founder and CEO, and a genuinely great leader, went on a medical leave for cancer treatment. She was transparent about it and appointed an interim executive committee made up of 3 senior staff: the CFO, myself, and Brad from sales. And here's where things go sideways. Police Garlight enter Brad the bro. Brad had been with the company for 18 months. Flashy suits, buzzwords like synergy, and the kind of guy who writes "thought leader rocket" on LinkedIn. He was good at landing deals, but absolutely awful at long-term planning or working with others. But Kim liked him. He could be charming, so he got put on the interim team. Within 2 weeks of Kim being out, Brad was introducing himself as acting CEO. Not co-leadership, not interim anything, just CEO. He removed the title from everyone else's email signatures in the shared auto-reply and added CEO to his own. He also started restructuring teams without input, making hiring/firing decisions unilaterally, cutting corners with vendor contracts to save costs, and worst of all, overpromising to clients on features that didn't exist yet. I documented everything. I tried confronting him, along with the CFO, but Brad would say things like, "This is wartime leadership. We need someone with vision." He made life hell. 2 engineers quit. 1 client threatened to sue over a botched rollout that Brad signed off on while we were still in QA. So I made a decision. If he wanted to play CEO, I'd make sure he took the fall like one. Safety pin the plan. I knew Kim would be back in a few months, so I started playing the long game. I let Brad make his messes. When he'd override me, I'd let it happen, but I kept copies of my recommendations and warnings. I started helping with his projects, which meant quietly CCing myself, tagging project management timelines, and building a comprehensive folder of Brad decisions. I met regularly with the CFO. He was old school, didn't like drama, but was watching Brad spiral with increasing concern. Then Brad made the big mistake. He fudged numbers in a pitch deck to a potential investor. I had the original doc saved in our shared drive, and he inflated revenue projections by almost 40% in the version he sent. That was the final nail. Collision the execution. The day Kim returned, we had a welcome back leadership meeting. Brad walked in like he was God's gift to capitalism. He kicked things off with, "Kim, you're going to be so impressed with what I've done in your absence." Kim just smiled and said, "Let's hear it." He started running through inflated growth charts, new client acquisitions, and strategic pivots. I let him talk for 20 minutes. Then Kim turned to me. "How accurate is all of this?" I didn't say a word. I just pulled out a neatly organized binder. Yes, an actual binder, and slid it across the table. Inside, copies of Brad's emails making false promises. Slack messages showing him bullying devs into skipping QA. Screenshots of him signing contracts we weren't scoped to fulfill. The original versus altered investor pitch deck. A timeline of decisions, warnings, and consequences. Kim read through it silently. The CFO backed me up on every point. Brad went pale, chart increasing the fallout. Brad was fired the next day. For costs. No severance. The company sent a formal apology to the investor and the client he'd lied to. I helped rewrite the proposals properly. Kim personally thanked me and offered me a promotion to COO. I accepted. Brad? Last I heard, he tried to launch a consulting firm. It folded after 6 months. Now he peddles some crypto-adjacent nonsense on LinkedIn and still calls himself a former CEO. Indero TLDR. Brad tried to fake being a CEO while our real one was out for cancer treatment. I documented every reckless move he made and let him dig his own grave. When Kim came back, I handed her the shovel. Don't play king if you can't survive the crown.